Reno here with Infinite Patriot. Welcome to our first episode of the Boomtown Crew podcast. It's been a work in progress for us to actually get the Boomtown Crew podcast going. We've been at it for how long, Donnie?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years to finally get the first episode going. So we're excited. We're going to learn a lot through the building everything on the podcast and whatnot. Before we even really get started, I really want to introduce our panelists, our guys right here, and get everything going. So first off, Donny Morton, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing with Infinite Patriot and
right
the
now
Boomtown
I'm
Crew
with
podcast.
Infinite Patriot.
Yeah.
I am the only one of us up here today that is not a United States Armed Forces veteran. My background is agriculture, followed by heavy equipment, and then EMS. That's where I met Shane, followed by you, Reno, here. And in the trip getting here, I have 3 kids, 1 ex-wife, 1 current wife, all sorts of difficulties and learned experiences that I'm looking forward to sharing over the years.
Oh, yeah.
My wife and I own Bulletproof Installation, which has been a journey of 7 years now. And that will be a topic of growing a business will definitely be one that we share as you own Infinite Patriot.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's definitely one of those, challenges and life lesson learned kind of things right there. So, hey, our next person, we got Shane Willis here. Shane, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me here. But first off, your wife is going to give you a ton of crap for saying current wife. Just say current wife, man.
She probably won't listen to episode 1, so I'll be all right.
Probably.
I'll be sure to send it to her.
Yeah, it'll come up in like 6 months from now, and you at least expect it.
She'll see the transcript.
So a little bit about me, I guess. I served in the United States Army for 10 years, toured in Afghanistan, got blown up, kind of found my way into first responders and being a firefighter for the last 10 years. Married, my beautiful wife who's back there fact-checking us.
Yep.
And it's been a journey. I never thought I'd end up here. I suppose looking back 10 years, I never thought we'd be here where we're at now, and it'll probably be just as different in 10 years from now. So
Absolutely.
excited to be here and hang out with you guys.
Do we want to introduce our moderator over there?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
Well,
Do you-
I think we should at least say hi to the person behind the curtain over there.
Yeah.
The most educated among us.
She's shopping right now.
Yes.
So
Okay, she's spending her money.
Well,
Good thing I'm not being recorded. Y'all can't.
all right.
Podcast.
We can 100% hear you.
Yeah, we can
Anywhere
hear
being
you.
recorded.
Here, the
Yeah.
podcast can't.
The podcast can hear you.
oh yes. They just don't get to see you.
I'll continue
right.
shopping.
Yeah.
You've got the face for radio over there.
Absolutely. Next time we'll get a camera on you.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll make sure to look pretty. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you.
So
All right, so we got introductions out of the way.
speaking of cameras, that's one of the hardest things, being in front of the camera. So as you guys know, I was a combat camera in the Marines. I served from 06 to 11, did a couple tours in Iraq. I was a combat camera, and I was also a martial arts instructor at the McMap,
So Reno, for those of us that didn't serve, what does a combat cameraman do?
Yeah, it's a unique field. It's a little bit different than photojournalism. Basically, we documented the shit out of everything, literally. Like, we would go in, we'd hitch up with units. I was kind of a free bird out in Iraq. I loved it. I was able to go all over the place, hop on all sorts of different missions, and document everything with my camera, both video and photography, and send it up to JCCC, which is the Joint Combat Camera Center. I believe it's called something different now because it's been quite a few years since I've been over in Iraq. I'm hitting almost that 40-year-old age. But yeah, just documenting everything and doing interviews afterwards, or there was some pretty dirty stuff we had to do too, but that can be revealed at a later time. But no, it was definitely a good experience for me. I was able to take it into the civilian world after my second deployment, after I got out of the Marines, and I worked for Fox Sports News and was able to do some camera operations, editing behind the scenes, and learn all sorts of stuff with ESPN. And then I ended up working for Boeing and running a team for Boeing, and that worked out pretty well too. You know, we were on the creative aspect. That's where we're here today. You know, I'm so used to being behind the camera, where, you know, when you get in front of the camera, me and Shane did that the first couple times. We're trying to get this social media thing going, and man, I tell you, it takes a little while. As soon as that camera starts recording, you're like, oh, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing here? You know,
You've got one sentence to say, and by golly, you will mess it up at least 10 times.
Yep.
The
yeah.
blooper reel that we will have at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Christmas party is going to be quite interesting.
Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty fun. I think, yeah, we're definitely going to do that. So,
Big giant screen of all of Reno's fuck ups.
hey, you're fucked up too.
Yeah, we didn't keep those ones.
Fuck ups plus the orange videos.
Hey, we don't talk about the orange videos yet. And we got to make a new one.
Yeah,
so.
that's an Easter egg for later.
Yeah. Yep. So definitely, I think that's a little bit of history on me. So right now, Shane and I were on the fire department. I'm the training officer. He's the battalion. No. The baby chief. He's the baby chief. Probably one of the youngest in Montana, if not the youngest in Montana. He'd have to be.
Yeah, I don't
pretty
know.
close. Yeah, if you think about it.
For a battalion chief, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for a battalion chief.
I don't know what that says about me, but
or the
they
department. maybe.
had nobody else.
It's either going to say something great about you or poor about the department, and we're not going to take sides.
Yeah,
in that.
yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's one thing. You know, we're moving into maybe a full-time department. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. There's been a lot of learning and growing, and I mean that's how what brought all three of us together.
Yeah,
I mean that fire departments and the communities that we serve are very important to us, and that's what's influenced Infinite Patriot.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, definitely.
We're combat veterans and we want to do that, but just as equally important is first responders, fire, EMS, and PD, and dispatch.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
got their own color on the flag too.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
And that might be some of the hardest. There is no way you could get me to sign up for dispatch.
Yeah.
I would not do that. Where I can sit down and I can actually perform, I can make a difference. I'm an action person.
Yep.
I can't sit back and say, now, put one hand on top of the other. I want you to put your body weight over the top, push down. No, I could not direct people into saving, performing CPR.
That's got to be a lot of work to be dispatch up there. I mean,
yeah,
you've seen them.
And one of the things, like when I first got on the fire department, I can't remember who taught me this, but it was never be the flashlight guy. And what
Yeah.
he meant by that is when you're seeing and experiencing something pretty traumatic, you don't want to be the guy that's just sitting there or gal sitting there with the flashlight, taking it all in. You want to be one of those people that are actually hands-on doing the job. It kind of gets your brain more focused. You're in the moment, but you're not really experiencing it in its entirety.
Yeah.
And from a dispatcher standpoint, I can see that they are a flashlight guy
Right.
or gal. I mean,
Yeah.
they're listening to some pretty amazing and sometimes very horrendous stuff. So
Yeah.
And they have very little ability to impact or change it. And that's where when we're on scene, either as EMS or fire, we have the ability to make a direct impact on what's going on.
Right.
And dispatch just has to listen to the pain and the suffering. And
No, you're right. That's one thing that we're really pushing to for in the training department is incorporating dispatch in some of our trainings. Not all of them, but just kind of getting them to see kind of some of the things we do. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges in training, and we all talk about this all the time, is you can train them all you want, but you'll never prepare them for that initial moment when it comes to, hey, a big grass fire's running away. You got a rookie with you, she doesn't even know how to turn on the pump or lock the hubs because she doesn't know what the hubs are. And it's like, oh man, okay, I definitely got to train her a little bit more. Not even training. It was just a moment that came out of nowhere. And I was left with my pants down at certain points, got a little scared, butt puckered and everything. And we ended up pushing through, but those galvanizing moments when, you can have the trainer and trainee, right? When you can have them in that scenario and they actually see why you're training them, then they start connecting those dots.
yeah,
And
it's reinforcement through the job.
yeah,
That's how I would put it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're touching on a subject. Training is super important, and I would bring up the fact that day we had 12 calls inside of like 5 hours.
yeah. I mean, our whole department was spread thin.
Yeah,
You know?
it was just nuts, and everybody was doing their absolute best, and that's one thing that I'm it appeals to me as a veteran or a combat veteran is that teamwork mentality and being able to make a difference. I guess one of the only regrets that I've ever had in my life is that I didn't join the fire department sooner.
Yeah, same
Truth
here.
be told,
Yeah.
it's one of the things and why I wanted to join. I'd love to say that it was because I wanted to serve my community and go out there and do great things. Nope, I had no idea what I was doing with my life. No idea what I wanted to be with. I grow up, still don't. But I had some friends and family go out there that said, "Hey, this is something you should seriously consider," and did it. And then because of that, I met another friend of ours, Casey.
Yep.
Through high school, and then saw him in the military, so that was a good idea. And then, did you know how he tricked me to getting onto the fire department?
Tricked you.
Yeah, 100%.
How did he do that?
He volunteered. Well, so the story goes, he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you know I'm on the fire department." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you want to come down and see the station?" Absolutely. Let's go. I want to see the trucks and stuff. I don't know what it is that you do exactly. Never thought about it. So we get down there, and it's engine 4, that old 92, I think.
Yeah.
3 Spartan Becker.
Yeah, it might be
engine.
older than that.
I'm not sure on
Yeah,
that. I think it's
yeah.
right around the same time as the other engine. But anyway, he's like, "Yeah, look at this." And he's like, "Hey, by the way, can you give me a hand?" I'm like, "Sure, what's up?" He's like, "All right, we got to pull this valve and that valve and this valve, and then we got to yard this pump out." And fast forward 4 hours later, I've been down there volunteering my services. Well, towards the end of it, and we're almost done, the bells go off. I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" I have no idea. I've never heard it. And then people start showing up. Casey runs over to his gear and he gets it on, and then everybody leaves. And I'm just kind of sitting back there, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. And I put an application in right then and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was. Not many people have actually heard me talk.
No, I haven't heard that story. That's a new one.
Yeah.
So
Your wife didn't know about it either.
Yeah. I haven't actually thought about it. It was freaking 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, for me, yeah, I'm still a baby in fire, right? You know.
I think we all are. Truth be told.
Yeah. So like, I mean, for me, there was an article on the paper when I first kind of started my business, Infinite Ink Apparel, before Infinite Patriots, where we were doing custom work and all sorts of other stuff. And part of what we were doing was part of our proceeds were we were just helping out VFWs and doing whatever, you know, helping other veterans out. They put us on the front page right there on Thanksgiving. So I get a call from Chief. And I'm like, who the hell? I'm like, well, I'm already busy. I got babies coming in, you know, just got married, not married anymore. So,
He's available, ladies.
hey, no. I got work on Infinite Patriot to do.
Just another statistic of veterans and first responders with divorces.
Yeah, what is it? DD 214, bad credit and a divorce.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a caffeine addiction.
Yeah. He brought me into the station and, hey, do you want to join the fire department? Family full of dysfunctional people. And I was like, well, that sounds actually pretty nice, but man, I'm busy. And I told him that too. I said, hey, I'm busy. I'm trying to build a business. Just bought a house on 20 acres, having babies and all sorts. I don't know if I have. I thought about it for about a week, seen a couple trucks roll through, and I'm like, man, that would be kind of nice to join. And sure as shit, I put in my application, and the rest is history now. So I'm addicted to the fire department. What about you, Donnie? What got you into when you were in?
Well, my EMS started back before you two were even in grade school. Well, you might have been in grade school. You definitely weren't in junior high yet.
What year was that?
So old.
59?
93.
Oh, 93. Oh, I was close.
I started doing.
I think you're being generous because I was 2.
Oh, yeah. So you weren't even in grade school yet. Reno
Okay,
might have been.
I was 5 or 6. Yeah, I was just probably
I might
starting.
have been born.
Yeah.
So we now know who the old man of the crew is.
Yep.
So 90, it had to be 93. One of my best friend at the time, he was in a car wreck, and I was about third on the scene. I was in high school at the time. I was a sophomore, and I helped the flight crew load him into the helicopter, and he got flown into Billings here. And later that day, he did end up succumbing to his injuries in that car wreck.
Right.
And I decided, I want to be able to do more. So that was, as a junior in high school, I took a first responder class, became a first responder, and then went to college afterwards. Mm-hmm. Fast forward many, many years, I maintained CPR here and there in first aid, but I let my first responder lapse. And I was working up in Big Sky, we came home one night, don't even know if you know this one yet, Shane. A motorcyclist passed us in Gallatin Canyon, which happens to be one of the most dangerous roads in Montana. And the driver went around us. We came into the next curve, and she hit the gravel and wrecked the bike. She was wearing a helmet. We were the second vehicle to pull up, and we're talking 60 seconds after the wreck, we're on scene. No respirations, no pulse. We did get a pulse back, but that individual ended up succumbing to her injuries at the time. And I decided, I need to get back into it more. Fast forward a few years later, we found out that we were having a boy child, and I remembered how active and dangerous.
As opposed to a man child?
No, my daughter.
That's what he is right now.
Oh, okay. Just
Totally
checking.
Opposed to having another daughter.
Yeah.
That's a different episode.
Daughters do not tend to jump off houses and ladders,
That's fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Before age of 5, I had both of them had stitches. So I decided I better get at least some sort of medical license and got my EMT. And that's when I joined Laurel Ambulance. And at that point in time, Laurel Ambulance was trying to combine with Laurel Fire and that dysfunctional situation. And then I started the business 8 years later.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Decided, I need to focus on building a business instead of spending 24 hours listening to my knee hurts now at 3:00 in the morning.
Right. Yeah. Especially with having kids, that changes the whole dynamic of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure you make a heck of a lot more money than you ever did as an EMT.
Oh, yeah.
That
EMT
can't be understated. Paramedics who are out there and EMTs saving lives and doing some heroic shit. $18 an hour at the most.
No,
around
as a
here.
volunteer, you're not making that.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it to serve the community and be a part of something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I forget that. Right now, EMS they have 10 full-time staff in Laurel, and it's great for them, happy for them. But it's hard to remember a time when it was 100% volunteers.
Yeah.
They do a great job now.
Yeah.
It was 100% volunteer, and you were asked. You weren't forced, but you were asked to put in more than 20 hours a month. And there was a lot of times where people didn't. And I ended up I tried to exceed that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about the time when you and I started hanging out, because I remember driving the ambulance for you as just a fire driver and got to know each other a little bit. And then you're helping me out with my EMT class. And man, that seems like a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you had even building your business?
It's right now the challenge is scaling, is growth.
Yeah.
Some of the initial challenges is how do you break into a market you've never been into?
Yeah.
And then finding employees that will put in the same kind of ethic that you have. And that is extremely difficult to find. Someone that cares about your business as much as you do, that'll work as hard as you do. And there isn't anybody out there that will outwork me in my business.
Yeah.
Because they don't see what goes on behind the scenes, that I'm doing the billing, the quotes, the hours I spend on the computer at home. They see when I'm in the field with them, but not the rest of it. And trying to get them to understand, well, you work from 7 to 4, and I work from 5 to 7, 7 to 4, 4 to 6, and then again from 8 to 9 is a lot more difficult for them to understand that, yes, I do this with you, but I also do all the things that make sure you have a job.
Right.
And not get pushed back.
And I think as I've started to kind of learn a little bit about this too, and being a part of Infinite Patriot, it's that caring. You're right. Nobody's going to care about your business more than you. Nobody's going to put in the same level of time and commitment to it. And they can clock in 7 a.m., get off at 4 p.m., and they just switch off. They don't have to worry about it. That's not the same with a business owner. It's 24/7 thinking about it, sitting there losing sleep overnight, thinking, "Oh, I could have done this," or "Hey, but what about that? I got to do these 37 different things tomorrow."
It's a doozy. That's one of the biggest reasons moving out of my shop on my land. Crap, I would work till midnight and move nonstop and wake up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and not sleep. Now I still kind of do that.
Yeah, you still kind of do that. Your work ethic is second to none, to be perfectly honest. But
yeah. But
eventually, it hopefully will lead itself to don't have to do that as much anymore. And speaking of work, you want to talk about the upland hunts?
Oh yeah.
You talk about affecting
Yeah.
bigger change. That's something that was born right here in this freaking building, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we the nice thing I found this it's called Flipping Book. Definitely a man who started that. And I thought it was one of the coolest things. So everything I've been developing for the business, I've been using this Flipping Book because I just think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of tired of just sending regular PDF files to people, so I was like, all right, cool, let's make it a little bit entertaining. So Sarah has the Flipping Book up right now. And so this year we have the 2026 Upland Hero Hunt. I went out and did some hunting over in South Dakota, some pheasant hunting, and the owner over there, Nick, amazing man. He loves his veterans, he loves his first responders, and we decided, hey, let's pair up together and let's send some veterans and first responders to the hunt. That's amazing. You're like, let's go, and he's like, hey, let's do one better. Let's get some celebrities over there. I guess they've had Brett Favre and a couple other big time like baseball players and stuff over there. And I was like, hey, that'd be kind of cool too. So Shane and I kind of sat down and we were like, all right, cool. Let's put this hunt together. How are we going to do it? A lot of thought process. Like, well, crap, let's sell shirts. And then every shirt somebody can nominate. You can either nominate yourself or nominate a veteran or first responder. The one thing we're asking for is if you do nominate someone, make sure they have an honorable discharge, or at least 4 years in service, that kind of thing. So, that's a huge thing. We actually made, if you want to scroll the next page, Sarah, or I'm sorry, you'd scroll it on the,
So go back to that.
and then hit that
the
arrow.
right. Yep.
Right there. Let's see, is that the right page? One more page. Right there. So we decided we're gonna put a big ass pheasant on the shirt. It's badass, So we got like exclusive apparel, and then anything that's on our shop will actually will go to that hunt. So I think it's gonna be a fun thing. I don't know. What do you think, Donnie? Like,
I think that'll be a great start to having these hunts and do them all over the country with different states. I think this is a great first year for it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens and the videos from it, and
yeah,
the testimonials.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we talked a little bit about the suicide awareness thing, and everybody, and just my opinion here is everybody wants to raise awareness for suicide and some of the traumatic experiences veterans and first responders see sometimes on a daily basis, but what are they doing about it? And there are retreats out there, and this is not exactly an original idea by any means, but it's something that Reno and I have been pretty passionate about. I know you are, is hunting. We've all been hunting together, whether it's coyotes, deer, elk, antelope, whatever. But one thing that has always been really cool and I've found really amazing is when we're out there, we're maybe having a couple of beers, sitting around a campfire after sun's gone down, and we're sitting and we're relaxing. We're sharing those stories and those experiences, and we're getting to know each other a lot more than just the everyday, hey, how's it going kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, the three of us have spent a lot of time out in the woods together in that situation. And I've got
In a heterosexual mode. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's still Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, there was some Brokeback Mountain.
No, what was that video? Brokeback Backdraft?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of camaraderie and that being apart and knowing that you're not alone was kind of one of the other influencing factors to do this. And it might be something small, but it could to you or I, but it could be huge to somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to try to do. And maybe they get to meet some pretty cool individuals like Brett Favre or whoever's going to be there.
Yeah.
We haven't figured that part out yet, but
Yeah, we'll be able to talk about that the more we kind of refine it and stuff like that. So
and we're bringing 30 of them. 30
yeah.
first responders and veterans.
yeah,
2
what
months
is
and
what is
5
it?
days.
The 15th through the 18th, and then that 18th through the 21st is going to be.
Yeah.
So it's 2 hunts, 15. The cool thing about it is too, we're encouraging people to tag us and send us nominations. Like send us videos of who you want to nominate, because we're going to sit down in our panel here and we're going to figure out like 6 for each of the hunts that we're actually personally going to pick and send to the hunts. The others are going to be part of the raffle and will just be picked at random. So I'm excited for it. We're finding those solutions rather than that what Shane was talking about, or we were about to get into it was we want to get past that suicide awareness stigma, and we want to find answers. We want results. That's the biggest thing. I don't know if doing a hunt and a fully all expense paid hunt is it, but that'll get us to that next moment to where we can actually start figuring out and working with other people and say, hey, what do we need? Is it finances? Is it setting up somebody for success in their career? Is it, are they in a bad marriage? I don't know. There's something out there.
Yeah, giving them advice, letting them know they're not alone. We're a community that efficiently doesn't really talk to one another except for in times like this or crisis or something like that. And we want to get to that point before the crisis happens.
Absolutely. Yep.
We need to break the stigma that mental health care is being seen as lesser.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially with men's mental health. It's all equally important, but I feel like as men, and I'm sure you guys would agree that men's mental health is just kind of an afterthought. You're meant to shut up. You don't cry. You don't show emotion. If you do, you're weak. Yeah. And that's not the case. I mean, I've been there personally where I came back from Afghanistan with some pretty heavy baggage and I needed some help. And I was eventually, after a long period of time, able to find it and figure it out. But the big thing there was just being able to talk about it and know that I wasn't alone. And that was one of the influencing factors of joining the fire department. I felt like that was something that was what I was looking for, that sense of community and purpose in the military that I didn't quite get other than when I was in country. It's a totally different ballpark than being National Guard back at home and then actually deployed. But
we're working on all sorts of other stuff too. We want to make sure that what we're working on is more than just, it's serious, but hey, we have dark humor too as veterans and first responders. That's what keeps us, the humor and the entertainment side. That's why we wanted to start this podcast, was like, hey, let's entertain some people. Let's show our personalities and let's make some people laugh, or let's make each other laugh, however that looks.
Or hopefully they laugh at you and me and everybody else involved.
Some of the videos we're making on social media, that's going to have it though. Like we're going to embarrass ourselves. And I mean, we look ridiculous in front of the camera, but it's funnier than hell. So, that's all we're really going to wrap up today, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming out. One of the biggest things with the Boomtown Crew podcast we're going to be pushing for is every Saturday at 10 in the morning, you're going to see a new episode. So we're going to have us as the main panelists. We'll have guests on. People will be calling in. We're going to be also working on hero stories, calling people from the list on the American Fallen Heroes, calling their families, friends, and building up that project to kind of relive, not necessarily the bad moment, of losing that person, but the good moments and the memories, and kind of redeveloping the American hometown heroes, stigma that we really want to push for the American Fallen Heroes. I don't have anything else for you guys. Do you guys have anything? Sweet. Well, thank you guys for joining us on our first podcast for the Boomtown Crew podcast. It's going to be exciting. I promise you that. So we'll see you next time. Boomtown. Reno out.